Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Are you a singer and do you struggle to stay healthy when you're singing? Here are my 9 top tips to maintain a healthy singing voice. My name is Keith Harris. I'm a professional opera singer. I travel all over the world teaching and singing, and this is Keith's Keys. And a question I get a lot from people is how to maintain a healthy voice. So let's go through it step by step. 9 of my top tips to keep your voice healthy. Number 1, drink a lot of water. How much? A lot. Just keep a water bottle with you all the time and always drink water. And it's just about fluids, right? So it doesn't matter. Coffee, tea, beer. I love beer. Well, yeah, water's the best. And here's the reason. Alcohol, caffeine, some of those other products can dehydrate or even inflame the voice. And that's not healthy for the voice. Tea, I love drinking tea before I sing. Make sure it is a non-caffeinated tea. The caffeine can dry out your throat. It can even leave your vocal cords inflamed. All in all though, the best thing is water. And water actually the day before you sing is almost more important than the day of, because you want the system and all the glands around the vocal cords to be fully hydrated and keeping your vocal cords lubricated. So lots of water. Number 2, don't yell. That's the thing. Don't abuse the voice. If you go to a ball game or you're out at a football game, right, and you're part of the cheering crowd, clap or learn to whistle. The most dangerous place for singers is actually loud bars, pubs, music events where there's music in the background, everybody's talking, and the room tone keeps getting louder and louder and louder, and you talk over people trying to be heard, and they talk over you, and so the room just keeps getting louder. And over time, that is extremely tiring to the voice. So you want to be very careful. Part of the reason people speak so loud is not that they can't be heard, but that they can't hear themselves. So do know that when you're in those settings, you can just lean in, just talk loud enough that you know sound is coming out of your mouth, and be very, very aware that you're not straining to make extra tone, because an evening of that can be very tiring on the voice. Sleep. I know most of you who I just said that to are laughing right now. Sleep is really important, especially for the voice. In fact, the voice is one of the first muscles that's going to fatigue with lack of sleep. So it's really important. How much sleep? The general rule of thumb is an average of 8 hours of sleep per night. Now, those of you that just laughed when I said sleep are rolling on the floor now. 8 hours, how do you do it? I wish my life could do that. If you want to sing, and you want to sing healthy, make that part of your routine. You have to sleep 8 hours a night. A well-rested voice will be able to maintain and sustain the kind of singing you have to do. You start wearing it out by not treating your body well or not sleeping, and you're going to start getting a really bad return on investment. All right, moving on. Number 4, never perform or sing full out without a good warm-up. It's really important to warm up the voice and get it ready for your workout that day, or ready for your rehearsal, or ready for whatever you're doing. Think of it if you were to exercise at the gym, or if you were to go for a big run. You don't just go out the door and have at it, right? You'll pull a muscle, you'll hurt yourself. You want to warm up, you want to stretch, you do a few exercises, then you head out for your big exercise. And the voice is the same way. It's a muscle. So we want to treat it with the proper kind of warm-up, even if it's gentle, little bit to get going. Some days you might get going faster than others, right? Same thing if you're going to go run. You know, some days your body just feels stiffer than others. Someday the voice is going to feel stiffer than others. So give it a good warm-up. Otherwise, what happens is you'll start forcing it, and it'll get stiff and it'll get tired, just like it would if you didn't warm up your legs before a run. They would start to get stiff and tired, and you don't want to. And what happens with that, if your voice starts getting stiff and tired, is that we're wearing it out rather than building it up. So always warm up before you go out and sing. All right, let's get into vocal health. Are you sick, right? Do you have a lot of gunk on the voice? Dealing with gunk, dealing with allergies, singers have to deal with so much stuff. So let's first talk about your nasal passages. I love to use a nasal rinse, and I actually am into some pretty powerful rinses. I love like an air bottle where it's actually a squeeze bottle, and you squeeze the saline solution through your nose. It comes out your mouth. I'm just going to go like this because you don't really need a gross demonstration. You do one on either side. I like that because it's a very powerful flush, and I have a pretty robust nasal system, so it can handle that. That might be a little freaky for you. That might be a little too powerful, a little too weird. A lot of people really like a neti pot. What does a neti pot do? Well, it's a very gentle flow of saline water in one nostril, out the other. In one nostril, out the other. It might feel weird to you. Again, you might say, well, my system's a little, it doesn't really like fluids. They get trapped, and my system is very sensitive. And for that, I would say use a saline mist bottle. Just a little bit of mist saline into the passages. Why? What is with all this cleansing and the saline solution in the nasal passages? Well, there's a lot of junk in the air, right? Whether it's dust or pollen or pollution, and the more stuff that gets in there, if it gets stuck and it stays there, it has a better chance of getting stuck and causing an infection, right? So if we keep things cleaned out, the less chance we have of something developing. So part of it is trying to keep ourselves from getting sick, or taking allergens and getting them out of there so that we don't have post-nasal drip. If you are sick, it really helps to get the garbage out and get your nasal passages clear. Sometimes a matter of singing has more to do with just getting this functional again than it does with actually getting well. So if you get the garbage off your vocal cords, if you get the garbage, keep the garbage from dripping on your vocal cords, you can at least perform or get through a rehearsal. And so the nasal rinses really help out a lot. Next, number 6. If you're starting to get sick, this helps a lot, especially before you get sick. If you feel a little something coming on, I love to gargle with hydrogen peroxide or salt water. Now, hydrogen peroxide, be really careful, all right? Maybe 2/3 water, 1/3 hydrogen peroxide. Do not swallow it. Do not ingest it. Gargle, get it out, rinse it out right away. But it really does a great job of hitting infections in the throat. The other one is warm salt water. Sea salt, something like this, that very pure, is excellent for the throat. And it's very soothing for the throat, but it'll also help pull out an infection. And it might be just enough to get you over the bump. Like I said, you might not be perfectly healthy when you go to rehearsal, but it might be just enough to pull out some of the garbage. The other thing is that the salt in the salt water will help dry up some of the gunk. So even if there's still gunk, the salt will kind of pull it up or dry some of it out, which is actually really nice. Number 7, allergies. Oh, this is the singer's favorite. You feel good, you're singing great, you've been coaching, you've learned your show, you show up in a new town you've never been in, and you can't handle the local atmosphere. Now what? One of the most powerful things that a lot of my friends have done, that I use as well, is to eat the local honey. Go find a local farmer's market or something and eat the local honey. The local bees have eaten and moved around all the local pollen, and that's what they use to make the honey. And those little bits of that local will help your body build up your immune system the way it needs to help fight the allergies, often very quickly, sometimes even in less than a week. And your body can adjust to that new area pretty quickly. It's kind of impressive. Some of my friends have found local fruits also work. That doesn't have as big effect on me, but eating the local pollen, I mean, that's, in small amounts, can really make a big difference. If you're stuffed up, you're having, it's there, it's happening, you got to get loosened up so you can rehearse, so you can sing. Vapor rub is fantastic. A hot bath with sea salts. If you're in a hotel with a steam room, the hot steam can feel really good on the throat, but that hot steam can also help kind of loosen stuff up and move stuff around. And then after the steam room, put vapor rub on and go to bed. And it's not going to necessarily help you get healthy faster, but moving the gunk through might at least help you be able to sing. Because sometimes that thick gunk, it either won't let us sing, or if we do try to sing, we're going to do damage because we're going to start forcing the voice. So sometimes just keeping mucus moving has a lot to do with singing healthy. And number 9, this might even be the most important of all my tips. Know when to stop. It's no fun, especially if you love to sing, to take a day off. It's horrible to cancel a performance, right? Especially if you're getting paid and you have to cancel your fee. But think of it this way. Do you want to sing for the rest of your life or for just a few more years? Because if you force your voice into a situation it really shouldn't be in, you're living on borrowed time. And you're forcing your voice into a situation where eventually it's just going to break down, it's not going to work anymore. But if you want to sing for the rest of your life, taking a few extra days off can make a really big difference. And it'll help you kind of keep track of when your voice is best, when you need to stop. Look, if you're in rehearsal, you can maybe just sing a little softer. But sometimes for a performance, it might be best to take a night off and know that you'll be able to sing the rest of your life. And that can make a really big difference. Because a voice that you lean on and push eventually is going to fail, and we don't want that. I hope you find these 9 tips very useful and they keep your voice healthy. And if there's anything I can do for you, if you want to work with me, if we can learn to make your voice a little bit better together, or if you have questions you want to ask, please email me, keithharristraining@gmail.com.